Heyo, I'm Creato, and today I'll be showing you the best seed for the Tricky Trials update with a giant trial chambers and outpost right at world spawn. Keep watching to learn more about this seed and other structures around the world. Also, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel as your support really means a lot. So this seed spawns you in a plains biome near a few trees and large river. There is a Pillager Outpost not too far ahead which marks the location of a trial chambers below. You should also first gather some resources to help you explore the structures around spawn as well as around the rest of the world. This is the giant trial chambers located close to spawn. There are lots of rooms to explore and there are lots of trial spawners and vaults to collect rewards from. You'll want to make sure you are well prepared before entering the trial chambers since there will be lots of mobs here which can deal a lot of damage in a group. Also make sure to collect lots of trial keys from the trial spawners so you can use the trial keys to open up the vaults. Then you can use the loot from vaults to upgrade your armor and tools so that you can continue to explore the trial chambers with better gear, as well as collect all the items needed to craft a mace plus the exclusive enchantments to create a really powerful weapon. Then you'll have very strong armor and a weapon along with all the other treasures you find from vaults and trial spawners while exploring around this trial chamber structure. And once you're ready to increase the difficulty a bit, just head back up to the surface where the Pillager Outpost is. Then you can defeat a Pillager Captain to get the Bad Omen effect, which turns into Trial Omen once in the Trial Chambers. With the Raid Omen effect, you'll be able to start an ominous event in the Trial Chambers where the mobs are stronger and you get even better rewards. Plus, as always, there is a supply chest in the outpost which has a few items that might be useful. Maybe you can also convert this Pillager Outpost into your own safe place when you need a break from the Trial Chambers for a bit. Or you can continue to keep getting the Bad Omen effect at higher levels to further increase the difficulty and rewards in the trial chambers. Either way, the outpost is in the perfect location to mark exactly where the trial chambers are so that you can create a tunnel going down for easy access. Plus, there is also a plains village located close to the Pillager Outpost, so you can collect resources from chests and trade with villagers. Then you can travel between the outpost and village and bring the Bad Omen effect here to turn it into Raid Omen. This will start a raid where you can collect lots of emeralds and totems from all the pillagers. Plus, you will also get the Hero of the Village effect which would help you get better deals on the villagers' trades. There is also a blacksmith chest in this village which contains a few apples plus some obsidian which you can use to make an enchanting table or construct a nether portal. There are also plenty of farms full of crops which you can keep for yourself or use to continue trading with villagers. Just make sure to always keep the villagers protected and safe from any possible danger like pillager raids or zombie invasions. And speaking of zombies, there is also a dungeon near the village which has a zombie spawner. This can be useful to turn some of the villagers into zombie villagers and then cure them to get huge discounts on trades. This dungeon is also located right between the village and trial chambers, which makes it the perfect middle point between the two structures. Plus, there are also two chests in the dungeon which contain some useful items like iron and gold ingots, bones, gunpowder, and even an other side music disc. And there is also an opening on one side of the dungeon which leads into a deeper cave which might contain some useful ores. And since this dungeon is so close to the trial chambers, maybe you can turn the zombie spawner into a quick XP farm to use while waiting for the trial spawners to finish their cooldown so you can continue collecting rewards. And if you're willing to head the opposite direction from spawn, then you'll be able to find a second trial chambers which also contains lots of vaults and loot to collect. This trial chambers is actually closer to spawn than the first trial chambers, but doesn't have its own outpost above it like the first one has. You can of course still bring the Bad Omen effect to this trial chambers to increase the challenge to get better rewards for a second time. And since the two trial chambers are not too far from each other, that means you can travel between them to use the trial spawners in one of them while the trial spawners in the other are in cooldown mode. This would allow you to get the most amount of trial keys from the trial spawners in the shortest amount of time possible. That way you can make sure you have plenty of trial keys to open up all the vaults that you'll find in both of the trial chambers. Plus, once you've looted both trial chambers, you can also explore a giant lush cave biome full of glowberries, axolotls, and moss blocks. This lush cave has tons of space and looks amazing with the glowberries lighting up the ceiling. There's also some smaller parts of the lush cave where the glowberries are able to reach the ground, providing enough light to stop mob spawning. As for the rest of the lush cave, just make sure to bring plenty of torches to make sure the ground area is fully lit to prevent mobs spawning. Then once you've had enough of a break, you can go to a third trial chambers which is conveniently located directly next to this lush cave. You can even use all the space in the lush cave to set up your own safety bunker to use while getting ready for the third trial chambers, so you can prepare to collect even more rewards. And if you're looking for even more loot to collect, then the ancient city is the perfect place to sneak around. Just of course make sure to not make too much noise so that a warden doesn't get summoned. All you really need to do is take things slow and try to get around the place without being noticed by any of the skulk sensors. And you can easily do this by sneaking around the entire time or by placing wool blocks to walk on, since wool blocks can't be detected by any of the skulk sensors or shriekers, and all that sneaking pays off since the chests in ancient cities contain some really good loot. This includes items like enchanted diamond armor and tools plus even enchanted golden apples. You can get some really great stuff from this place, but it is also extremely risky since any movement could set off the skulk sensors and bring in an uninvited guest. Then once you've had enough of the overworld, you can head over to a ruined portal and rebuild it to enter the nether dimension. The portal is sideways in the lava, but there's still enough obsidian to build a portal, and since you'll have to use a water bucket on the lava, you will definitely have more than enough obsidian here. And there's even a flint and steel in the chest to light the portal plus both a normal and enchanted golden apple along with an enchanted golden shovel. And the ruined portal is also located in a pretty big cave which could have some ores you might want to collect before you go to the nether. This might be useful if you want to collect some iron to make a bucket, or collect some gold to barter with piglins when you get to the nether. Or you can also set up a quick area here to help prepare yourself for the nether and all the mobs that are waiting on the other side of the portal. Once you enter the nether, you will spawn between a crimson forest and soul sand valley biome. This means you will probably be immediately greeted by either piglins or ghasts depending which side you walk into first. But the good thing is that the portal is in a small cave, which means there shouldn't be too many mobs spawning because of the limited space. And there still is a tunnel that leads out into the open nether where you can find the lava sea. And because of the small cave the portal is located in, that means it shouldn't be too hard to build up protection around the portal to safely return back home. You should also try and place some soul fire and warped fungus around the portal since it will scare off the piglins and hoglins from getting too close. This way you can make sure the portal is as safe as possible from all the nether mobs that try and attack while you're exploring the nether. The Nether Fortress is located in a crimson forest biome and is entirely exposed, meaning you can see the entire fortress in the open nether. You'll have to watch out for the lava sea below since one fall will send anything straight into the lava with no way out. You might want to build up some protection around the bridges so that you won't get knocked off by the mobs. Plus some fire resistance potions would also be a good idea to make sure the fire and lava can't do any damage. There is also a blaze spawner in this fortress which you can turn into a farm to collect XP plus the blaze rods, which are useful for brewing strength potions and crafting eyes of ender. And since this fortress is completely open, that means you can quickly move around, which should make it easier to attack all the mobs. This way you can hopefully get some wither skulls and blaze rods as fast as possible without much struggle. And back in the overworld, the end portal waits in the stronghold to be activated by Eyes of Ender. You'll need all 12 Eyes of Ender to activate this end portal, so make sure to prepare before arriving here. You'll also need extra preparation since there is a 4th trial chambers located right next to this stronghold. This means you can collect even more armor and tools from the trial chambers to take into the end. Plus, the stronghold itself also has chests around the place which could contain some ender pearls you can use to activate the end portal. Also make sure to watch out for the silverfish since they like to hide in the stone around the end portal and could summon an entire army even if just one gets attacked. But as long as you light up the area, no mobs should be able to spawn here, making it a nice place to settle down before you decide to enter the end. And there is also a library room right next to the end portal, which means you can collect lots of books here. You could even use the bookshelves to create an enchanting setup since there is more than enough books to create a max level setup. And the chests also contain some extra books and paper along with 2-eye pattern armor trims. These armor trims would look great on all the armor you collected from the trial chambers, which you can add extra enchantments to with all the books in this library room. And with all of the really strong armor and tools you have collected from all the trial chambers and other structures you explored around the world, you'll be more than ready to enter the end dimension and defeat the Ender Dragon, so that you can return back home and continue exploring the rest of the world.